Hey, you. Welcome back to the channel. And guys, today we're going to talk Krypton, episode 4, The Word of Rao. And guys, we will get into spoiler territory a bit in this episode. So if you don't like to be spoiled, if you haven't seen this episode yet, go ahead and watch the episode. Come back here. We'll talk about it. So there had been going around online that the word of Rao, or rather the voice of Rao, was possibly Brainiac. And that had been a rumor. And in this week's episode, we kind of get a confirmation of that. But we get to learn that the Sentry has been hiding in a smart way to get to the voice of Rao, which he's able to do so. And now, of course, this means that Brainiac is basically in control of Krypton. Now, it was very interesting as we got to meet this leader of the terrorist organization, who we believe to be the leader of the terrorist organization of Krypton Black Zero. And he apparently has information about Brainiac, which I found is very interesting. Seems Segel leads someone to thinking, as a means to escape and get away, that he will help assist him in turning over information about Brainiac, but Segel doesn't trust him and is able to escape. Now, I'm not really sure how that would work. Why, how it came about that they got this information about Brainiac, but I can kind of understand Segel's position, as he doesn't know anything about who this person is, but seems like they would make an ally, although his means are very ruthless when it comes to dealing with his chain of command, as it were. He kills his own soldiers with no problem. This doesn't sit well with Segel, as this person will do anything it takes to save Krypton. So he's very reminiscent of a General Zod-like character. From the General Zod version we got to see, specifically in The Man of Steel. This character is very reminiscent to him, as a means to do anything to preserve Krypton. Speaking of the Zods, we got to see Lyta Zod take command of the army, only to lose it as soon as she gained command, because in an effort to protect and help the rankless citizens, she is disobeying orders to help Segel to get to the truth, to attempt to save her. Cost her position, but it's more than that. As the rankless initiative did not work, now the voice of Rao seeks a scapegoat to blame this on a fall person, and Lyta Zod, as her activities seemed very suspicious, is made that scapegoat. Now she's on trial for death treason. And of course, this doesn't sit well with her mom, who is the Primus Zod, who knows that this is not true, but is kind of stuck between becoming treasonous herself. And this is, I found quite interesting, that we kind of get to see what's going on with Nisa and the chief magistrate, that they've been planning all along to overthrow the voice of Rao. Now, what's very interesting is, so they were already against the voice of Rao, but it's kind of good that they're plotting his demise, as he is now inhabited by Brainiac. And as he's inhabited by Brainiac, he's obviously going to cause a lot of problems for Krypton. So, guys, I really like this episode. I think Krypton's starting to find its legging. It's starting to find its footing. It's not the greatest acting, it's not the greatest lines written, it's not the greatest story, but it's definitely holding its own, I think, as a sci-fi channel show. I find it entertaining. I don't find it a burden to watch. I tune in every week. And again, guys, it's not one of these shows where you're going to get blown away. Whereas I think there are some missed opportunities with this show. I think it's kind of been watered down to what it could have been. And the weird thing I keep going back to is I wish it was more close to the Man of Steel type Krypton in the sense of the mood and feel of it. As this does at points feel kind of bubblegumish to me. But as far as does it hold your attention? Is it an entertaining show? Definitely some good points. The set design, I can see that there's been money invested in this show. That's why I just wish that the storylines themselves were a little bit more, thought out and put together. It's going to be interesting to see the choices the voice around, how he acts under the control of Brainiac. Is it going to be a total freak out like what we got with Rom, who does die, and then her daughter Ona's kind of taken as an adopted disciple? I wonder, is she going to be able to tell the difference? What does Brainiac know? Maybe it could be they're like sleeper agents until Brainiac activates them. But the voice of Rom, we got to see him go through some actual changes that we didn't get to see Rom go through. So maybe he can now go back to resume in a more human form. Anyway, guys, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Everything's kind of left on hold until next week's episode with Lyta in prison with her mom, forced to make a decision about what's going to happen. Are we going to get these houses rising up and going to take a voice of Rao, now Brainiac, out? We'll get to see in the upcoming episode. But again, guys, I enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about how Krypton's doing so far. Guys, if you like content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, take care.